Welcome to this episode of Driving with Steven. For those of you who do know me, you know that I'm a real estate investor down in Southern Arizona. But I have been able to do some amazing things. And so I wanted to do something a little bit different this episode. I wanted to give you an opportunity to work with me and my wife. We are expanding a team across the country that is helping to achieve things that most people wonder if they're even possible. So I wanted to tell you a little bit, a story today about what's been on my mind, and it's a transaction where I get to help somebody in need purchase a home for very little money out of pocket and turn a profit. So I wanted to show some of the kind of creativity that we can get. But outside of that, I wanted to share how, my wife and I went from me having a good career. I worked as a heating and air conditioning repairman. I enjoyed that trade, but I was gone all the time. I never got to be with my family. So they were fed, they were clothed, they had housing, and we were in debt the normal ways. We had a mortgage debt, we had car debt, we had student loan debt, and all these things that were holding us bound that I had to work. And how we saw that, and then we found a path and the ability to learn real estate in a management that allowed me to pay off my student loan debts very quickly, to get out of my job in just as little as 7 months, and to build a business that structured itself so that my wife and I can travel, we can be charitable, we can do all these different things, and are growing a retirement where before we worried, would there ever be one? So with that being said, let me tell you my little story of a transaction I'm dealing with right now. I have had a person reach out to me that is struggling and needs to sell their home. They don't want to mess with realtors. They don't want to mess with trying to clean up the house to get it ready. They just want to walk away from it cleanly and evenly so that they can move into a position that's a little bit safer for them financially. So I looked at this house. There's not a lot of equity in it. There's a little bit, but not much. And the house does need some repairs. It's dated. It's, things look a little older, but it's not filthy or disgusting. So instead of me just walking in and getting a new loan to cover the cost of paying off their loan, we decided to do something called a subject to strategy, which means subject to the existing financing staying in place. So I'm going to buy their home, leaving their existing mortgage at play, and I am now going to start making their mortgage payment for them. I'm also going to do what I call cash for keys, giving this person a few $1,000s of their equity through the closing process, and allow them to use that money to move on, have some money to pay for movers and to, get out of that home. So this process is allowing me to pick up a home that's worth about $170,000 the day I buy it, to, spend a few $1,000s on fixing it up, new paint, new carpet, make it look a little prettier, turn around and resell it at a higher value, let that new buyer come in with their money and pay off that existing mortgage and pay me back any money that I spent fixing to repair it, and then whatever profits left over, my wife and I get to keep. So now, instead of having to come out of pocket $170,000 plus, another however many thousand to fix it up, we only have to spend $10,000, $15,000 to purchase this property, completely own it, renovate it, resell it, and make a profit. And these are the strategies that are powerful. And even if I didn't have the money to do that, which in the past I haven't, I never used any of my own money. I always work with other investors to fund my deals because I like creating win-wins for other people as well. But if I went to somebody and said, look, you could get a return on your money and you only needed to put $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, $20,000, whatever it is to gain that return, would it be worth it? As opposed to asking somebody for $170,000 just to buy it, plus another 10, 20, 15, 20, whatever it is, I'm making up these numbers as I go, $1,000 to rehab it, that's a lot of money to come up with. But if we can come up with that smaller amount, we can find the money to do the deal and still make the same profit at the end of it. So that's the creativity that we bring to the table. My wife and I have learned to do these strategies, and we want to share with you the opportunity to work alongside us doing the very same thing. Now, if you love your job and you want to keep it, great. Let's find ways to work together and to create other income streams for you in that process. Maybe you don't like your job and you wish you could do something better. or you want to own your own thing, or whatever it is. Maybe you love your life, but you're not creating a retirement account or a retirement plan for yourself in the future. You gotta reach out. I'm gonna put a link at the end of this. I'm gonna put a link in the comment where you can see just a quick little video that introduces working with my wife and I. If you have an interest, then I need you to reach out to me from that link, and I will speak to you directly. A lot of people get a little bit shy of that, and I've had some people in quite shock. But if you reach out to me, I will call you, and you'll get to speak with me one-on-one. So let me find out your stories. Let me find out what your goals are, and let my wife and I show you a path that will teach you how to gain access to your dreams. I never thought that I could be more than a heating and air conditioning repairman and a dad, struggling to make ends meet. But now we're getting to travel. We go to several countries a year now. We're doing real estate all over the country because we're able to make these connections and these network opportunities with folks like yourself watching this video. So thank you for watching, and I will hope to speak with you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.